Welcome everybody out to the 5-minute face check. My name is Valcomer. We are here as a Nexus Gaming Series production, and we're talking B East today with Pokeflute of Party Time. Pokeflute, thanks for being here today. We're excited to have you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having us.
So tell me a little bit about Party Time. What makes you guys hum? What just really comes together for you?
So, we've been playing together for a little while now, probably close to a year and a half or so. We started out as a TESPA team, as many of us went to the same university.
Nice.
So, we kind of have a little bit of a background there, which lets us, we're comfortable with each other and we're comfortable um, critiquing each other's play and, learning new strategies together and things like that. So, I guess we're very team focused. We want to make sure everybody's comfortable, but we also want to stretch our gameplay and see what kind of new things that we can learn. So I think in that sense, we're always evolving, we're always changing.
And how many seasons have you been with Nexus Gaming Series?
This is our second season.
Okay. And B
Mhm.
Division both times?
Yes.
And how do you feel that versus from whether it was season 6 or season 7 to now, how do you feel that you've progressed during that time?
I think that just based on looking at our stats and the things that we've been able to accomplish, I think that we've really improved both as individuals and as a team together. I mean, some teams that we struggled with last season in B, we've been able to handle a lot better now because we have all improved and we've learned new strategies and things have gotten different. So, I mean, it looks like, we can just go up from here, which is a really, really good thing.
Nice, nice. And you've had some exciting games here in the playoffs. Anyone that just felt, down to the wire, you're biting fingernails, your knuckles are dead white on the mouse.
I think our last game against Regen Phoenix really had me white knuckled on the keyboard, because we had in the regular season we lost to them. So going back up against them, it was like, okay, let's remember what we can of the game that we played and what new things can we bring to the table just in the couple of weeks since we played them. And, really putting those strategies to the test and finding out what we could do differently this time, I think made it just really upped the ante and
Nice.
made it a completely different fight than the last time that we faced them.
It's always exciting to unlock that puzzle, if you will, and beat something, whether it's a game or another team that you've struggled with in the past. And
Hmm.
it's silly, sure, we're talking about an amateur league in a virtual game, but it's still exciting to
Hmm.
have that moment. So, any particular highlights or something you want to shout out for yourself or one of your teammates from
I
that
mean, I just
match?
want to say, thank you to everybody at Regen, who was willing to go against us again and, gave us a tough fight, the fight for our lives, and made us realize both how far we've come and how far we have yet to go. I mean, it's games like that that come down to the wire that really make you realize how much work you still need to do. So, I mean, just thank you to all of them. And obviously, thank you to my own team for putting up with me, number one, and and being willing to learn and change and evolve. And I feel like that is what makes the strongest teams.
Very nice, very nice. No, I think that communication is just a huge
Mm-hmm.
thing, and being willing to talk about it, being willing to develop together, and knowing that, hey, we're all human, we make mistakes,
Mm-hmm.
but watching that progress over time can also be extremely exciting.
Absolutely. And I think just, thinking about the things that I personally as a player did at the beginning of the previous season when we started with NGS versus the things that I'm doing now, the things that I've learned both in my own play and from watching, other players in B and other players in other divisions is just incredible to see, what we can achieve when we communicate and work together and everything. So
Nice.
I think NGS is a great example of what can be done even on an amateur level. I mean, you don't have to be professional to reap the benefits from those kinds of things.
Now, without giving anything away here, because the game's tonight as of this
Mm-hmm.
recording, but do you have anything that is an ace up your sleeve or a pocket strat that they're not going to be expecting?
I mean, I would say they're probably going to expect the Alarak that we've been pulling out the last couple of games, but I would say not necessarily to expect that. and that we definitely want to adapt to what has happened so far and what we know works in the past. So,
Nice.
stay on your toes.
Nice. Well, tune in right before game time. They said something similar as well, but this has been the 5-minute face check. Looking forward to a great game tonight in Division B East. Thanks, everybody. Welcome, everybody, to the 5-minute face check brought to you by NGS. My name is Valcomer. I am here with Synchrony of the Saltscale team, who are now in the Coastal Finals for Division B East. Synchrony, welcome and thanks for being here.
Thank you very much.
So, we were chatting a little bit, getting me familiar with Division B East, but you have had 2 games that were quite the set leading you here. What were some standout moments for you?
So in this last one in particular, the best moment of the entire series would have been towards the end of the second game, where we've got the shrine sitting at 39. Minions were kind of moving around. We don't really want to cap it yet. We want to see what the enemy team's doing. We notice that we can't see a single one of them on the map. So we're like very carefully running up the left side on our side, trying to get around just to finish the shrine. And then all of a sudden, our Chen dies. And it was the most glorious 5-man gank I've ever seen in my life from the other team. And I think that even though it wasn't our play, I think that's the best moment that I've had completely this season, because it was completely out of the blue, unexpected, absolutely wonderful. Our team's laughing about it the entire time, like afterwards.
Yeah, except maybe the Chen player. He was probably feeling a little sore.
We were making fun of him pretty hard about it afterwards. So it was Idioms knows how to take it sometimes. So it was all good. But it was a good play by the enemy team, and it was completely unexpected. So
Nice.
It was a pretty good moment.
Now, team dynamics, I apologize. I probably should have started with this, but it sounds like Idioms is then the off-lane player if he was on Chen.
He's normally the off-lane player. At least now he didn't start that way. We've had quite a few roster changes this season, unfortunately. We've had players kind of blip in and out all over the place. So I think he's settled into our playoff team as our off-laner.
Got it. And you yourself are the...
I do range assassin.
Got it.
Or Sylvanas specifically, if you ask it. So.
All right, well, party time. I'm sure you've already scouted, but apparently Sylvanas is the person to watch out for, so good luck. I'm sure.
I say if they watch our games, I'm consistently on. So you'd really have to never watch a single one of our games to not know that.
Right. Well, and I'm sure you've got a couple backups in store as well, but they've been warned if they don't ban it, you're going to have a heyday. So.
Yeah, my lips are sealed on the second part of that. Just Sylvanas. If you want to ban Sylvanas, go for it. That'd be lovely.
Any other set roles within the team?
Yeah, we have Dankstrom's been playing tank for a very long time. He's been a team member of mine for several years now, so he's our main tank. And we have Eason and Alanki that are both kind of flip in and out between our secondary DPS and our support, depending on what's needed. So we got a lot of flexible players.
Now, season-wise, I know you mentioned the most exciting thing just happened in your game tonight. What can you say you've been doing to prepare for the playoffs now as you're going into the Coastal Finals this season?
So we've been most of our practices Storm League. I'm sure most people's are, but we've really tried to kind of hone in on certain heroes that we feel like individual players are exceptional at, and sort of flex ourselves around that. So we sort of we'll build multiple comps kind of at a time, trying to think of who's strongest on what role, how can we get someone's strongest hero into the role, how do we back up that hero, that kind of stuff. So and then with Tank being Tank, he's been shot calling a really long time, so it's sort of be very clear, be very concise about following calls made for him, how you get around the map, that kind of stuff. So.
Nice. So we've got about 45 seconds left on the 5 minutes. Anything in particular that, without giving away strategies, that you find that you are just going to nail party time to the wall with?
If you watch us, if you watch our past games, our rotations will be kind of lax sometimes. But I think that we've really begun to sort of nail those down. So hopefully,
Nice.
that just general macro pressure is what we like to excel at, and
Macro
that's how
wins
we're doing.
games, man.
It
So,
does.
and now with our final moments, any shout outs or taunts that you want to leave out there?
I'm gonna make a big shout out to my friend Mega Muffin, who's been literally watching every single game, always like whispering me before my game, telling me good luck, trying to keep on top of
Perfect.
me, see how our team is. And sort of a little jab, last season we ended up in sort of a rough spot on the Real Ultimate Mosh Pit, and this season I think we're coming back, and I think we're looking forward to playing Yonners on B West, and I think Party Time's just kind of have to deal with that.
I'm sure it'll be a great game. This has been the 5 minute face check. Have fun watching this match.
Do this. Good evening, everybody. Sorry about that delay there. We are having all sorts of. There we go. Third time's a charm. Hello, everyone. For some reason, I continue to have audio issues, but welcome to this NGS B East Finals between Saltscale Mrgles and Party Time. You have your host here, RavenX, and to my right here, with the little chibi smiley face here, we have B-Train 704. Say hello, B-Train.
Hey, what up, guys? How's it going? I promise this is possibly the most toxic cast you've ever heard. JK, I swear it won't be. I'll be nice.
Well, the two of us combined, it's always going to be a fun time. So, speaking of with the party time, I'm hoping it's party time tonight. With let's see, we have a Murloc party. That sounds like fun, doesn't it?
I have been an avid WoW player for 15 years. I hate Murlocs with an absolute passion. Don't even start with me.
Well, let's see if your Murlocs get shredded, or if party time is not going to have a fun time tonight. Let's take a look over here at our bracket for B East. This is, once again, the finals. We have Saltscale Mrgles coming off of a 2-0 over Bread Rising Yeast Sports, and then Party Time taking a 2-0 over Regen Phoenix. So both teams coming in with a pretty commanding lead over their opponents in the postseason. What do you think about what you see so far from this bracket?
I mean, honestly, like our bracket's all shaped out, in B West, kind of like everyone expected. But B East has always been pretty competitive. There's always upsets in B East. I feel like Party Time and Saltscale were the top two seeds, though. So, or I don't, where were they? I'm not sure. Hold on, let me double check the standings. No, they weren't. So, Party Time and Saltscale were the 3 and the 4th seeds. So, neither of the top seeds are here. So yeah, it was kind of a shakeup. But I think anyone who actually studied the division can probably tell me better and whether or not these teams were obvious to make it. But for me personally, I don't know. So you guys in the chat, let me know.
Well, as you said, 3rd and 4th seed. I was looking for the. Oh, that's right. That is in the. Well, since we can see it in the bracket, I don't even really need to go into that. But we will actually go ahead and. It looks like teams are ready, so I'm going to go ahead and hop over to our draft screen and let the teams know that we're ready to go.
It looks like the first time these teams faced off, Saltscale Mrgles won in a 2-1. It was a 3-game series over Party Time. So in the regular season, they matched up the very first week. So typically, the very first week, teams are still kind of ironing stuff out. So I don't read too much into it. I mean, if you made it this far in the playoffs, like you're obviously doing something right. So I expect it'll be close.
yeah, 3-4 slot, and like I said, looking at each of them, just 2-0ing absolutely everybody into the postseason. I'm incredibly excited to see what happens with this game. Now, I have pulled up the map bans and map picks, and my teams have swapped on me here, so forgive me if I screw a few things up here, but it looks like we have map ban of Braxis and Cursed Hollow by Saltscale Mrgles, and then Dragonshire and Towers of Doom banned out by Party Time. First map picked by Party Time, Infernal Shrines. Always a fun map played by virtually everyone whenever possible. So teams are ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and let them know that I believe we're good to go. Like I said, they swapped on me, so I gotta make sure everyone's on the correct side of things.
Okay, so Saltscale picked this map.
And
Yeah.
that is... Okay, so that's red. So let's update that.
Who is Jared? Kappa?
I don't know.
Jared in the lobby?
Well, we may have a. There we go. Jared has been removed. Let's get this going before anybody else from Subway shows up.
All right. Honestly, though, like it's the playoffs. It's deep in the playoffs. I expect memes. If I see normal heroes picked, I'm not going to discuss them literally at all. That's how that works.
Cho'Gall, Murky, Deathwing, Abathur all on the same team.
Okay, Cho'Gall's meta for one. For two, if they don't take double mage with Pyro Rain of Destruction, they're literally not as cool as we are. So
we didn't play Cho'Gall, and I'm sad about that. I have regrets.
I wanted to.
I have regrets.
Our drafter said no, and that guy's kind of mean. So
I have regrets. So maybe they'll make up for it for me, and we'll see it tonight.
All right, so first pick is going to be for Party Time as well as first ban. So we'll see if any target bans come out. I heard in an interview someone was talking about an Alarak. As an Alarak one trick myself, I get to judge those harshly, but we're going to see the Sylvanas ban coming through, which with the Punishers, if you win those things, she can empower that push a lot.
That was a very fast cooldown. So both of our primary heroes have been banned today. How do you feel about that?
Whoa. Gul'dan's only my second primary hero, baby. You know it's about the panda. Nah, honestly, though, Gul'dan is really good on this map, and I think Gul'dan doesn't get enough credit in the mage department. It's either all about the resets from Ming, all about the burst from Jaina, or all about the pub stomping with Kael'thas. And I think Gul'dan kind of falls under the radar, and he's actually extremely good as a mage. He has insane damage output, scales well, good self-sustain. One of the best ultimates in the entire game. So if you have someone that can play him very well, he's an absolute monster. And banning him is clearly a respect ban, but at the same time, could be a disrespect ban. And there's the High Lord.
There's the Alarak, and we had a Deathwing ban. That would have been a good thing to have into the Alarak, but Raynor Anna. So Raynor, with his recent buffs, to me, feels kind of insane. And then Anna, always a good setup for, well, I mean, the Cho'Gall could be stirring.
I don't know. We'll see. I don't think you ban... neither of their first two bans really show anything that would make me fear Cho'Gall, but we're going to have an early lock on the Muradin, and Greymane coming through. Greymane very good into squishies like Raynor and Anna, but also has that cursed bullet on that 30-second CD, and then that 10-second one when you get to the late game. So overall, really strong damage outputs, and we'll see if they try to smush Alarak into the solo lane as this draft goes forward, or if they keep him in the 4-man, because right now, that would be both of their primary damage dealers shown already.
Greymane's also good against Cho'Gall, and I'm kind of sad. So there's a Stukov ban. That is an incredibly oppressive support hero, in my opinion, at the very least. I can't stand playing against that guy. Being silenced and slowed for all eternity is incredibly frustrating.
And Johanna going to get taken up after the Malthael ban, so trying to negate some of the double soaking capabilities. You can have a double soak set up on this map where your 4-man just kind of runs it down. And Raynor's one of those heroes that can do that. Anna has very efficient healing, so she's kind of in the same boat. We see the Johanna picked up, who's fantastic for Infernal Shrines. Obviously, the big condemns, Shrine Control. She's got a good blind to counter Greymane. and then Hanzo picked up just following. So that's their 4-man is set right now. And nano boosted Hanzo, that's pretty dirty. If you go with that Q build or even scatter, nano boosted Hanzo does a lot of damage.
Yeah, let's say to go auto attack. The go auto attack not quite as effective, but we'll see what they run here.
And Leo gets picked up. Leo fantastic for the map as well. And Leo can double soak once you get that 4. When he gets Neo Peasants, great shrine clear, but he can double soak. So we'll see if they pick a hero to match that on the side of Saltscale. And if not, then we'll just see how they change their rotations. But as of now, with the Ariel picked up, you're gonna have that res value, and we see Idioms busting out the Panda. Oh, I love it. Everybody knows that's my boy.
I've been informed that teams may be on the incorrect side. I'm not sure. Let's see, Saltscale.
So Saltscale in the lobby is on the left-hand side, and Party Time is on the right-hand side.
So Ekib is on Party Time. Yeah, everything's messed up. So I swapped it. Apparently, it didn't like the swap. So let's try it again.
Kappa. Also, shout out to the Portrait Synergy. I mean, like, they're not the Team Nut portrait, which is the best pit portrait in the entire game. Don't get it twisted. But they do have good ones. I like it. I like the pigs. The pigs are better. Pigs are baller. Shout out to Porky. All right, and we're going to go ahead and kick these introductions off. On the left, we got the Mrgles of the Saltscale land. We got Isan G on Raynor, Synchrony on Hanzo, Dankstrom on that front line with Johanna, Alankia on Ana, and Idioms on Zapanda. Also, White Warlord skin, fantastic choice, my guy.
And on the right, we have Schumann on Leowork, Chess Clue on Muradin, Bishop Mist on Alarak, Sealyman on Ariel, and Ekib on the Greymane.
And as both teams come middle, what talents do we have so far? Obviously, Raynor picks the OP talent. We know how that goes. We see the pings coming out in the bushes. Obviously, a lot of defensive play. But Johanna is going to step up and try to get that wave clear going, burn in the Unstoppable. I do value the wave clear on the side of Saltscale Mrgles a lot more in this early game. Just with Johanna, Raynor, Hanzo, that is a lot.
Yeah, the amount of poke available to them is pretty substantial, but the kill pressure on the red team here is kind of insane.
Johanna falling low, but the fat sleep dart putting 2 to bed does secure. Johanna gets to walk away, and we see the damage though coming off from Party Time. It ain't no joke early on. Greymane Alarak is very, very high damage in very short amount of time, and that could, one sleep dart for Ana, that could be the difference in someone living or dying. So that's a lot of pressure on Alankia. And it looks like actually. Yeah, so we have Perfect Storm going out. Both teams are going to be doing their camps right now. Greymane can solo that thing, so he's obviously got the rest of his team posturing around for a little bit of safety. And it looks like we do have the fast clap for Ariel. I actually really enjoyed that talent. I think for coordinated play, it's probably one of the better ones, especially with the Johanna. So looking to really get that wave clear, especially with Muradin at your front line, you do lack some wave clear in the early game. You can meme a little bit and take that Sledgehammer at 4 if you want, but I honestly don't know if it's the most necessary.
Yeah, I take Sledgehammer because I'm bad at Muradin, and it helps me stack my baseline, but I think it is not the optimal pick.
Red team sieging down. Party Time, they're partying right now. They're already through the wall mid. Leo's got the wall pushed up top. I don't think a lot of damage is going through, but Idiom's going to be all right, but Chen having a hard time in that matchup. It's kind of rough early game, but honestly, I think Chen trades very well into that, and we don't have very well. I stand corrected.
First blood on the Panda.
Don't flame me. I know I missed it. I was too busy looking at. We don't have Neo Peasants for Leo. We do have Ghastly Reach. That's not something I expected.
Gosh, so is that is the increased range. So I mean, helps you to hit a larger number of people. So I mean, it gives you the potential to slow more people than what you would have with just the baseline.
Yeah, but man, I don't know. I just don't think you can pass up Neil Peasants. But Party Time got their camp up top earlier thanks to that kill. And even with less wave clear, they've gotten more camps out. They have Shrine Control to start. And we'll see how Saltscale wants to egress into this. They're already set up. 15 monkeys almost to 0.
Joe going in deep, but no follow-up by her team. Gonna eat quite a bit of damage. Leo also eating quite a bit of damage. Hanzo showing up after trying to clear top, but Joe eventually going to sleep.
Yeah, Johanna, Iron Skin's not enough, even with the hold your ground CDR at 1. It's just, unfortunately, that damage is so quick to come out. I don't even know if a healing dart made its way over. You know, I mean, if you're the tank player, you're like, oh my god, heal me. But by then it was already too late. The Greymane Alarak burst is tremendous, and we actually get dissonance from Alarak.
One of the things brought up in chat is that this wall push mid with Punisher being mid is going to be huge to get them to be able to secure this fort relatively easily.
Absolutely. You want it to jump over the wall because that's what allows you, as we get the huge combo into Isan on Raynor. Gonna get the armor, gonna get out safely. But yeah, without the wall, you can't safely bait the Punisher jump. And you don't have 2 towers to sit there and take the Punisher down with you. So you're immediately missing about 50%, because the towers do a little bit less damage. About 50% of your damage on that bad boy. And they get a whole fort, and it's about a half a level lead when it's all said and done for Party Time.
Yeah, Saltscale opting to pick up Soak in 2 lanes during that, since they knew that they were likely going to lose mid fort anyway, so they don't end up falling behind in anything more than structures.
Hey, I tell you what though, Schumann up here is bodying whoever you put in this lane. Chen, Hanzo, he don't care, dude. Honestly, everyone who goes up there is fresh meat. It's over. Like, Schumann so far has been killing the solo lane. For this game, at least, he's pretty much winning the trades per hero. Murden's going to get a nice little stun onto Raynor. Going to get put to sleep. Not a lot of follow-up, but Alarak, of course, stacking that show of force. So we'll see if they can stay alive for the entire game and not lose all that sadism.
Yeah, they talked about not being behind. They're falling behind quite a bit here. Camp pushing mid. They're going to have to go clear that. And meanwhile, just basically going to allow Party Time to run over the map.
And Hanzo is going into that full Q build, so Ana hitting those nanos on Hanzo will actually be very big damage spikes, lots of output. And level 10's coming online right now for Party Time. And I don't know how much they're going to be able to force. Saltscale's playing pretty far back. We do see, as far as ultimates go, so far what I expected. We do see Resurrect, Counter-Strike, Avatar, go for the Throat locked in, and Entomb from Leorit. So pretty meta, nothing really out of the box. But they're going to run this top fort down, getting the wall yet again, because guess what? The next objective is top lane.
As they go for the Throat to finish the kill onto Chen. However, a nice arrow comes out onto 4 people. Dangstrom goes in to try and continue the engage, but ends up getting whipped away. Counter-Strike out by the Alarak, but unfortunately ends up eating quite a bit of damage after the fact, and there goes his sadism.
Alarak, actually, I wanted to say it, and then they died, but Alarak did a fantastic job using the TK, telekinesis, to push Johanna away from that engage after that Dragon Arrow. The Dragon Arrow was a bit early, but they were able to push him away and completely deny the engage, and then unfortunately they ran out of minions, and Alarak started taking a bunch of tower shots, and then passing away, unfortunately. But we see Hyperion committed to middle, and we do have our first pause. PP has been called, but Hyperion getting committed middle. They're really looking to take this wall down, treat some structure damage. Right now, Hanzo's sitting on top with 13k damage, 1 kill to 3 in favor of Party Time. And both teams on the same level for this Punisher. This one's going to be as even of a fight as they've had with Ultimates. Actually, without Hyperion, excuse me. So, who do you think has the better fight comp for this top objective?
So I'm still going to go with Party Time. They have just an immense amount of aggression for their team. I mean, 4 of those heroes go backline and they don't ever return. and probably none of Saltscale's team's going to make it out of that either. So it just really comes down to, Raynor. I'm not the biggest fan of Hyperion. For Siege, yes, of course, but in team fights, it's kind of unless you are fully engaged, if you pop that at the wrong time, the other team just walks away.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a giant area, but if you don't have the CC to keep them in, then yeah, I mean it's easy to walk away from. They did commit it to middle, so they're not going to have that's a 100-second cooldown. So they at least better get the wall. And then yeah, for this top fight, man, I'm just looking at it like this: Ana super squishy, Hanzo super squishy. Either of you get hit by an Alarak combo, you're gonna lose a lot of HP. He may not have the sadism that he had. He only had a couple stacks at that point, but just the displacement enough with the silence means you can't use any of your save tools. And then eventually, Greymane and Murden are gonna hop in there for the fun. And you can literally one shot 2, maybe 3 people if you get Raynor before the heal with the 25 armor. So you can almost delete 3 people off that team.
Yeah, I fully expect to just see people going to sleep, but game's going back. I'm going to go ahead and hop back into game view here.
But on the other side, you have to look at the CC combo of Dragon Arrow into Blessed, and then all the damage dumped on top of it from the Chen Pandas with the root, and then obviously Nano Hanzo. Like you got 10 seconds until Nano's up. Hanzo has Arrow in 5, and the only thing they won't have as the Hyperion is Johanna does get half chunk. They put Murden to sleep, maybe forcing an early Avatar here. Nope, gonna have the Dwarf Toss, gonna hop out, and they're gonna get a reset out as Bishop does miss the combo onto 2. But just like that, a little bit more time bought for Hyperion. Red team probably gonna have to maybe hit a couple taps and then go in, but we'll see how this shapes out. I want to see all these ults.
Johanna goes in, pulls everyone in. Pandas end up going out, so that counter date is going to be available for them. Raynor goes down. Looks like we're going to get another Alarak kill, so another reset on Sadism. Is anyone coming back to life, though? That's my question.
Alarak is getting rezzed, I believe. No, it got interrupted. So Ariel got put on short CD during the resurrect onto Alarak, but they still trade 2 for 1.
And then he comes back.
Now he comes back. So it is a 5v3. And honestly, man, I don't like... Saltscale really can't even step up to contest this unless everybody gets back here in time. They're already sending Idioms down to Soak, so it looks like this is a foregone objective, and we're back to basically what the first one was. So just try to get your Soak, try not to lose too much.
And that's what I was saying. It's on. Really, I don't think either team has has to force an engage. Whoever forces the engagement actually ends up coming out behind because of the counter engaged capability of both. But I think the amount of damage and aggression available for party time is going to continue to see more and more team fights won for them.
Saltscale committing Hyperion with 39 monkeys off the table. They're going to pop the solo blast on Alarak as Dragon Arrow flies to the anywhere but the target. Resurrect still not up. His go for the throat's going to go as Raynor's caught into the Entomb. They're going to trade 1 for 2 as the Punisher drops Hanzo as well. They're going to get Johanna here. That's going to be 2. It's going to be all ults burned. 3 members traded for 1 in favor of party time. And now this Immortal is pushing, or Punisher is pushing against only Chen and Anna. So this fort gone and likely to keep wall, I would think, at a minimum.
So I'm going to be careful. Punisher is about to jump. So he's just barely out of range there.
Punisher jump timer's on like a 10 or a 12-second reset, I'm pretty sure. So we'll see. Obviously, it's up now, but you have to do damage to it to proc the jump.
So good job eating the jump. So this is going to be maybe another tower for party time, and then they're going to go ahead and back up. Even talents available. Pandas is also available, so if he wanted, he could try and force us engage. It looks like Idioms is going for it.
Yeah, after popping that elusive and getting the first kick in, Panda should be popped right about now so you can secure the root. And it's going to be popped a little bit late. Bless Shield already comes out. Hanzo almost gets hit by the one-shot delete button. Murden going to be trying to get out of there. Hanzo is mounted and piecing out. Leo going to hit the Ghost Walk out. And this fight is all over the place. Now Raynor falling low. Avatar still not popped. They're going to get the Tomb to block it off. And it looks like another Condemn comes through. And Leo might fall. That is going to be the first kill. They're going to get the trade onto Chen. Go for the throat popped as well. Trading 1 for 1 again. Party time always turning this fight that is an engage, usually from Saltscale, into something at least even for them.
Yeah, I don't know that it was a bad thing to try and force that. I think they got to the point where it was too late for them to really be able to make much of that. And while the trade works out okay for them, being with the catch-up experience, they're still over a level behind, and 16s is coming up for party time.
And I think with that engage, it's just kind of a weird way that they stack the CC. And for anyone who saw it, I don't know if I was right or wrong, but I know Bless went out, and I think during that time, Panda should have been popped as the arrow follows up from Hanzo. But, I mean, like you said, I think the engage was just late. I mean, they were almost back under their towers by the time it happened. But, I mean, props to them for being able to say, we need to take this fight before they hit 16. This is the best chance we got. That's a tough call to make. I mean, we've all been there. So, I mean, at the end of the day, they all still committed. It's still good for them trading 1-for-1, but it just didn't work out as well as they hoped.
So Chun trying to clean up the minions, or the push mid. The bottom fort likely goes down, depending on, let's see, we have ults. We do not have pandas for another 17 seconds.
Leo.
Hyperion comes out.
Leo's going in for the spooky walk. Not going to drop anything down. They're going to trade no ults for Hyperion. And they have a level and a half lead, excuse me. And they are still sharking around, man. Party time, they have so much of the map under their control. Chan has to come top to clear. They have camps pushing middle. They honestly are just sharking for a fight because that's about all they have to do.
Yeah, I mean, they could secure bot fort, but I think they're looking to get that pick and try and end off of it. At this point, they actually missed their opportunity to do much with 16. So what they're going to go ahead and do is set up an objective after getting their camp. Leo going bottom.
Yeah, trying to, I guess, make sure these waves aren't going to push in. Either way, party time's getting a camp. 16s are online. Hanzo does have that piercing arrow, so a lot more damage output. Now a lot of his shots can't be blocked. And Mrgles is going to be scouting this bush really well. Anyone who's looking to play tank, follow what Chessclue's been doing. Lots of warding, good positional awareness, and we have the 5v5 coming up.
Yeah, this is the first even fight in a while, and this is a pretty critical point for Saltscale to try and turn this game in their favor.
Yeah, they don't have Hyperion for another 20. Otherwise, all ults are on the board. I want to see the Dragon Shield, or the Blessed into Dragon Arrow into Chen Pandas. And during that, you rip the Nano and you just delete someone. They have the tools to do it. Raynor getting half chunked by Bishop right off the bat. As Counter-Strike popped early, Chen really wrecking havoc in this backline, and I'd like to see him just turn, honestly. They're going to get the tomb onto Raynor, though. Falling low is Leorg. Dragon Arrow whiffs yet again, but they do get the first kill out on the Leorg. Mrgles falling low. Going to have the healing clap through. Pops the Avatar. Might not be enough. Is going to go down 2-for-0. Saltscale hits the trade, wins it, loses no one, and now they're only a half a level behind. They look like they're in a fantastic position to just take this objective. They have top camp pushing. That's a big turn.
Yeah, this is absolutely massive for them. They could, in fact, secure a keep with this. I'm taking a look at talents, and I see Double Lightning from Alarak, and I'm ever so slightly confused. That does not give him the kill pressure needed, and I think going into this late game, that actually may end up hurting them to be able to secure kills here.
I mean, you get the Double Lightning. It's not scaling, though. I mean, either way, you still get to rip the Double Lightning, which on the Shrine can maybe help you secure a couple extra monkeys, and you can pressure, but I mean, once you go Show of Force, I mean, that's kind of an all-in on the Alarak, so it's a unique build. We'll see how it pans out, especially once Sadism is lost. As the Punisher does get baited over, they're going to secure the wall for certain. I don't think they're going to get a keep here, barring some major catastrophe.
I'm looking to fight in under keep. The Immortal, the Punisher, half health. Good arrow goes out. We have Unstoppables keeping people from getting rooted. We got a shield out from Joanna, but looks like everybody ends up walking away.
And Alarak getting pushed over no longer has the Counter-Strike, drops the Sadism, and that's one down. We're seeing the weakness. They don't have a lot of anti-siege potential, and this Punisher has just lived forever. Alarak coming back to life, immediately going to get the TK out. Lots of damage going onto Raynor. The Punisher is still alive. Tomb goes out, but Leo is down. No resurrect. That's 50 seconds for the dead man. And they're still chasing, but I don't know if they want this smoke from Saltscale.
Yeah, I was going to say, it seemed like they might have pushed a little bit too much once they got the keep, but then they get the counter kill onto Leo. or they turn on Leo after the Entomb, get the kill. A lot of pressure goes top. They have to go clear. Party time has to go clear. Now Saltscale can go ahead and go and push bot and equalize map pressure entirely, in addition to catching up an experience.
Every third wave, man, these katas are flowing, and now the whole map is in favor, except for top lane, which is tied, keep to keep for Party Time and Saltscale. And right now, each of these teams just trying to hit 20. The map pressure, however, is in huge favor for Saltscale. And we talked about it in the beginning, the little bit of the lack of wave clear between, Greymane and Alarak, especially with Leo not having that Neo Peasants. So we're really kind of feeling the effects of the lack of wave clear as compared to Raynor, Johanna, Chen, Hanzo. Like, that's a lot of clear, man.
Yeah, pretty much every Punisher was must win for Party Time. Now, essentially, that's still the case. The Punisher for them is absolutely must win. If they lose another Punisher, their game is probably over.
Yeah, I don't think they have the capabilities to defend another one. And with 3 showing here on the bottom of the map, we see the posturing up here on this camp. 20s have been collected. We're going to get the Super Blessed from Johanna. The camp is started. We have the Super Blessed. We have Execute from Raynor. We are going to have the Super HP and Damage for Chen with the Brew, Play the Game, and Super Nano from Ana. And the fight's going to break out here real quick, so I don't think we have time to go over the others, as the big grenade on the point is going to get the anti-healing. Chen does get the pandas off the orc. Down quick. That big stun coming out. Ceiling Man also going to fall. That's 3 for nothing in the blink of an eye. Bless Shield with the Condemn and Chen pandas. And I think that's game. That's got to be it, right?
That was an absolutely massive invade. That I see under no circumstances do I see them not ending this game here.
Yeah, I don't think they have the damage to do anything to stop this. GG. I'm not can't say GG yet, but I'm pretty sure it's GG. That was one heck of a comeback. You can't talk until it's over, man. Like they say in StarCraft, look at the supply. But what a comeback from Saltscale. I mean, it's the first game, but they were on the back foot for most of it, and they turned it around with just a couple of fights after a couple didn't even go their way. And they, that was, literally the last 3 minutes was just Saltscale.
Yeah, looking at that game to start, I was partying with Party Time. I figured this was a 1-0 for them, and then just basically Saltscale's like, no, we're gonna fight back uphill. We're gonna beat it onto you as much as possible, and second half of that game fell into their lap, basically.
Hey man, just like IGN said, 6.5 out of 10, no comeback mechanics. No comeback mechanics whatsoever. Nah, but like honestly though, I looked at that, and out of the comps, yes, Party Time had the more aggressive comp. They had a little bit harder to execute comp with their damage and how they had to place it. And all their scaling pretty much was on Alarak. Like Alarak was their big ticket in the late game with all the stacks that you're hoping to have on Show of Force. So getting to the late game and having a couple unfortunate deaths, just circumstances where misstep, misclick one place to another. And I think once the Alarak sadism gets reset, it's a lot harder for them to continue, because it's like losing Diablo Souls. You have to remember you're not as strong as you were 20 seconds ago. So it's you have to change the mentality of how you play within the same game.
Yeah, between Mura Perfect Storm isn't a huge amount of stacks. Obviously, we talked about Show of Force. The scaling basically, once if you don't stack Perfect Storm substantially enough, and obviously with Show of Force you don't hold on to that sadism, your late game is virtually non-existent. So they had the potential to run it down the entire game, but it kind of fell off as they started to get killed.
Yeah, man. I'm not a gambling man myself, so I don't mess with some of those resettable talents that hurt you in the late game, like the Gul'dan has the one timer where you increase his death timer, but you increase his max HP. I'm like, I just don't gamble like that. Like, I used to take Animal Husbandry until I got it to like 4,000 one game that was like 50 minutes, and then I died, and then I was really sad. So I've learned a little bit, but Alarak is just one of those heroes in general, man. He's do or die. It's it's kind of like old school Sonya and Kerrigan. If you're up, man. You got the snowball rolling, and nothing can stop you. But when you start slipping, it's really hard to kind of stop the bleeding.
Yeah, and looking at the comp for Saltscale, like the only hero on their team that wasn't just flat out like set from level 1 was Hanzo, and I didn't even see when or if he finished the Q stacks, but that that was overall they were just all of their heroes they popped off and so they felt weaker early on, but as the game went on they just scaled pretty consistently.
Yeah, they really did. They did turn it around. Also, Synchrony trying to steal my 3-2-3 Thunder. Get out of here, bro. But yeah, I mean, honestly, like they said here in the lobby just now, for those of you at home, if you can't see it, as a game-changing pause. From that pause on, it was game-changing. But nah, like, in all honesty, that was a good job being able to continuously fight from behind by Saltscale. And for party time, I just think you have to not get shaken. Don't do anything too crazy. Like, for instance, if you want to pick Murky, Cho'Gall, Deathwing, Ariel, go for it. Like, that's not too crazy. But if you throw a Butcher in there, then you're kind of memeing. But like, I do think you have to either draft something that is very do or die, or you have to draft something so standard that it puts you to sleep. So that's kind of where I'm at. You either got to go for the marbles, or you got to just try to get back to your roots here if you're party time.
All right, well, I think we are ready to go into game number 2. This is a best of 5. Game number 2 is going to be Volskaya Foundry, picked by Saltscale Mrgles. So it means party time opted to get first pick. Let's see if there's a hero they really want going into game number 2.
Wait, were our coastal finals best of 5 last season?
Yeah.
Who did we play?
I don't remember. I'd have to go though and look.
I didn't think it was the best of 5. Holy
Maybe it
dang,
wasn't.
man.
I don't remember. I think didn't we 3-0? Maybe that's why.
No, we just no way we 3-0'd.
No, coastal finals, not grand finals. This is coastal finals.
Yeah, but coastal finals. You just said it's best of 5. I didn't think it was best of 5 because I thought only the finals between divisions were best of 5.
May have changed this season.
Huh.
I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure this is best of 5.
I mean, no, I could be wrong. It just when you said it, I was like, wait, what? All right, but we are gonna have the Insta Sylvanas ban again from party time, getting back on track with the draft, and I guess we're just gonna see the Gul'dan again, and then we're gonna see whatever they ban second, and then we're gonna see the Deathwing and carry on, right?
Yep. It's helpful when everyone bans the same heroes, so then I don't have to talk about anything new and unique. I don't have to do my job.
See, I, being the master of memes, I'm just waiting for the Probius pick. Like, dude, I'm so excited. I need something stupid. Like, that's how I engage, man. I need something dumb. We're gonna see the Gul'dan, man.
I remember the first time I saw a Deathwing in one of these casts. I was ecstatic.
Yeah, but I mean, Deathwing sucks.
ETC ban by party time.
Murky beats Deathwing, just saying. No Deathwing in this game, no fun. Saltscale sucks.
It's unfortunate. Hey, now. I know, you have a hatred for Murkies.
I love Mrgles, I hate Murlocs. But we're gonna get Alarak again. They said game 1 wasn't a good enough showing. They said they gotta redeem themselves, so they doubled down, man. I like it. Just hit that table and maybe this time don't lose your stacks. But game 1 draft 2.0 cap.
I would very much like to see a safer build out of the Alarak. The Show Force, I consider it a pub stomp talent that you can stack quickly and just roll over people. I don't think it's a good competitive talent.
I think even in competitive though, like if you just take TK range at 7, I think it helps because you can more safely position so that you don't lose a stack. So I think either one of those maybe switch to either I believe it's Chaos Reigns or the TK range at 7. But we are going to see Johanna and Ariel again being picked up by party time. But they did snatch the Johanna away. So a little bit of blinding for the Rainer, taking the tank comfort away from Dankstrom. And we'll see where that leaves them. Like, obviously, the only triple S tier tank left is Stitches. So Dankstrom, look it up, baby.
So in the thoughts of or the wanting to confirm best of 5, I forgot to switch us over to the draft. So everyone's seeing the draft for the first time here.
Kappa.
Not Bailban. So we'll just keep on. Yes! Yes!
Oh, dude, I'm so excited. We've been practicing this hero for weeks, bro. I'm ready. I have so much to discuss Dude, okay, honestly, right now, like, I'm supposed to be an impartial caster, but GG. No, like, absolutely, though, like, you can throw this. Like, Alarak doesn't have the damage to deal with Cho'Gall, so they need to secure anti-Cho'Gall weapons right here. And Greymane gone, Malthael gone. I'm worried. Leo's not enough. Leo's got slow damage. Hanzo, okay. Hanzo with the armor shredding and the giant killer, you can do work with Hanzo. The goal is you just got to protect Hanzo, and Cho'Gall's a different beast than his last rendition. So for about the past, month and a half, since the Cho'Gall reworks, I mean, there's been a nerf even as recently as last patch to the Cho trait, but the hero's still busted. It's honestly not even so much about Gall anymore as it is Cho. Cho is much more impactful. And I can't wait to be able to highlight this. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'll just mute my mic and you can talk about your.
Dude, I'm excited. We got Imperius too, though. Okay, so low key, Imperius is actually also a decent hero against Cho'Gall. But both of these honestly, these drafts are pretty even. Like, I'm still not secure on the Cho'Gall for what it's worth.
Looks like I need to update scores.
Very well. I will entertain. No, but like, okay, so think about it. Cho'Gall has impeccable wave clear. Cho'Gall excels in team fights, but here's the difference. Until 10, Cho'Gall doesn't have peel. So he's either butt cheeks deep, both feet in the air, and just knocking fools out, because he does damage. Or, I'm in slot 6, by the way. Or he's going to be dead, because he can't really peel. But on the left, we got the Saltscale Mrgles. We got Izon G on the Rainer again. Dankstrom is going to be on Imperius. I like the Skinnergy, by the way. Alankia on Ana again. And we have Itty Roni. Itty Roni on the Cho'Gall. Let's get it.
And for party time, we have Key to You on Leoric, Chess Clue on Joanna, Bishop Mist on Alarak, Ekib on the Hanzo, and then Pokeflute on Ariel.
All right, so no Taskmaster from Gaul. I'm immediately concerned. So yeah. Taskmaster is CDR on that shove from Gaul, so you can get your Cho boy to safety after he Q punches into 6 people. So I mean, we saw Callous Hide picked up. We have the normal build from Imperius. Everything else seems pretty meta. It's key to you taking a lot of damage. Cho'Gall, man, he puts out so much damage. But we do have Scatter build from Hanzo. Not electing to go with the armor or the anti-armor like tank killer build. So we'll see how that gets into the late game once Cho'Gall starts really crushing skulls.
Yeah, I'm equally curious about the level 1 for Gaul, because while Vision's nice, I think on this map it's actually less relevant than on some others, because the rotations are so small. The objectives are, it's pretty wide open. Like the Vision, I think, is less important than the ability to actually peel your 2 primary, shall we say, heroes out of trouble.
Yeah, and we see lots of damage, and you can see right now that 25 armor, 15 healing, and I believe it's 15% move speed for Cho when under 60% health. So the armor's permanent, the move speed and the healing increase is only below 60%. But I do believe that counts while he doesn't have the trait active as well. So increased healing and move speed under 60% no matter what. Toggle for the armor. And Cho, at level 13, has one of the best armor talents in the entire game. Oh my god, dude, had you not asked me, no one asked me the name. It's like Twilight Shroud or Twilight Veil or something like that. Either way, it is a 75 armor talent on a 30-second cooldown, and it lasts for 4 seconds. So big homie can just Q in, hit the huge damage buttons, hit the shield button, and he just, he can't die. We are going to see both turrets picked up. Obviously, if you have a Cho'Gall, you're handicapped a little bit because you can only carry 4 items, not 5. So, party time, I'm going to need you to maximize on that. And other than that, the rotations are pretty even, and the XP itself is also pretty close.
Now, you talked about the lack of peels until 10 from Cho'Gall. Now, the Cho'Gall getting pulled in and eating an absolute ton of damage. Alarak is actually quite a bit of a threat to Cho'Gall by himself, just because of displacement. But in regards to the peeling, good thing about Anna and Leo, and Rainer, is they both actually have their own peels, so long as people don't wake up Anna's sleep target.
Yeah, but I mean in the heat of the moment, man. If you don't hit that sleep, like what else is there? And we do have the cooldown on Condemn from Johanna. Imperious waiting until level 10 to pick his level 4, so we'll see how that goes. Raynor going to be trading out a little bit of damage. And we do see Show of Force again from Alarak as Cho'Gall comes up top. And we talk about Cho'Gall a lot, and you can't really avoid it. Whenever Cho'Gall's in a game, man, he just takes over the game. Everything about how you play surrounds that hero, revolves around that hero. But the top camp was cleared by Party Time, and now their camp is going to push uncontested by the others. So a little bit of an advantage in the macro department for Party Time. All they have to do is see how long they can stall this and get that value.
The question is, at this point, what kill potential does Saltscale have pre-10? I was going to say, they a lot of damage out onto the Joe, but Jangstrom ultimately ends up going down on the side of Saltscale.
Yeah, Dangstrom going to be taking a dirt nap. Isan really greedy with that turret. Doesn't drop it. A lot of trust in the healer. I mean, Alantia tried everything to keep Raynor alive. It just wasn't enough. But I think, honestly, if you're Saltscale, like, you've gone Runic Persistence on Gaul. Your damage doesn't scale as much now. Ogre Rampage also selected, so increasing the damage of the trait whenever you damage enemy heroes. And Cho, instead of electing for the QCDR talent, also going to go with his trait. So we got to see how Cho'Gall balances trait usage here. As both teams have 7 objectives, about 50% for Party Time. They can get another crack at this when everybody gets here.
Yeah, I definitely have concerns about the lack of scaling on the Cho'Gall build. I'm not sure. I honestly have never taken the talents that Gaul has chosen. So just to let everyone out here, me and B-Train have been running it down in Storm League, so Cho'Gall's kind of become our newfound love.
Yeah, Cho'Gall pretty much is kind of the do-it-all hero. 2 turrets going to be dropped down, Big Condemn onto Dengstrom and Idaroni. Isan really hitting the fat flank, not really getting pressured a lot as Kiryu is going to be going down the anti-heal grenade, but Imperius does go first. The creepy hand is on Cho'Gall as Rainer's going to go down as well with the pull and the Condemn from Johanna. That's going to be the end of the contest for objective number 1. And yeah, I mean, we were talking about the scalability, and Cho'Gall statistically is one of the best scaling heroes in the game. His health, his damage, everyone has their own individual scaling per their abilities, but it's also the talents you take that allow you to scale. And Cho'Gall with the bomb quest and the Shadow Flame quest, which isn't always necessary, but I think the bomb quest is pretty important. Like I don't see any situation where I wouldn't take that. I know that Runic Persistence helps a lot with ranged wave clear. It allows you to one-shot waves a little bit easier, but when you get that ball, then, man, that if you choose to take the silence at 16, it's huge, and if not, like, it's still just a lot of damage, and it speeds up how quickly it goes. So the skill shot's a lot easier to hit. As Cho'Gall gonna get hit by the Ariel stun into the wall, gonna be okay. Not gonna have that trade out. Getting pretty greedy, but Gaul's trying to put that damage down, and it looks like this top fort is gonna be easily taken as the 10 advantage is already here for Party Time, and they're not here to party, they're here to win.
I'm curious, because I don't think I've ever played Alarak into Cho'Gall. Does he get 6 instead of 3?
I don't believe so, because all stacking talents count Cho'Gall as 1 hero. So like if you were to auto him with Zul'jin, you get 1 auto. If you're to kill him with Butcher, you only get 1 stack of meat. I'm pretty sure he only counts as 1 hero hit as well, because Tychus only gets single stacks like on his In the Rhythm quest, and you only get 1 last right stack. And they are going to get Alankia in the tomb here. Going to get the pull, the big damage in the wall whip. The bless not even needed as it bounced around that bathroom stall. If anybody's familiar with Dax right now, Leo looking like his best version of Dax, the janitor, cleaning up another kill. They're up 5 kills to 0. And we do have the upheaval and twisting nether combo. So no hammer knockback for the peels from Cho. We do have the all-in pull onto 3 self-unstoppable targets. But actually, no counter-strike. We have Deadly Charge.
There's a pull onto Leo. Well placed ult after the ghost form from Leo, so that ends up giving them free push into the bot lane. So we're seeing potentially what happened in game number 1, where game goes in Party Time's favor, and then Saltscale just turns around and makes really good use of their heroes to actually scale decently. Shield comes out, arrow goes out, and Tomb going out.
But the Nano onto the Cho'Gall. Big counter-strike coming in, but Cho'Gall's already wiped 2 on the floor. Raynor looks like he's going to fall here, but they do get the trade out onto Alarak and Resurrect on Johanna. This is still a 3v3. The pull going to come through from Cho'Gall. A little bit of armor, a little bit of self-healing. They should be able to kill EKB here. Actually, no, Ironi going to go down. Not able to self-heal enough. I don't know if the blind's keeping those auto attacks from the heals on Blaze. Blaze targets comes into effect. It's just a mechanic for Cho'Gall's healing on his W for Cho. But, I mean, it looked good for the engage from Party Time, and then it looked bad for a little bit, and then it looked good again. So, I mean, Party Time pulling out another nail-biter fight, and now they're just applying the same pressure to the bot lane. You know, Fountain taken on one side, now the Fountain's going to be dropped on the other as the Tomb goes on to Raynor.
I swear that Tomb is up every 10 seconds.
Yeah, Raynor, however, is down. So, that's going to be more than 10 seconds. It's going to be 25, though. And Upheaval's still going to go through. They're going to get the big 4-man pull. Arrow not going to be enough as Cho'Gall does get shoved. They do get the kill onto Johanna as Twisting Nether does about 600 to 800 damage at this point, I believe. So that's a big splash. They are going to get the kill onto Pokeflute. Down goes Alarak as well. A 4-on-5, 3-for-0 trade in favor of Saltscale. Oh my god.
Yeah, that was... So they got the Sadism reset on Alarak, and then now they've traded 3 for 1 technically in that fight? 3 for nothing, really. I mean, a lot of back and forth, but with the objective up, 3 people down, this gives Saltscale the opportunity to go ahead and gain map advantage in terms of items and get on the point, though they are taking quite a bit of time to actually step up there.
And something you and I have experimented with new Cho'Gall is the triple bounce on the Dread Orb and then the stun at the end. I think that CC is insane. That's honestly, like, if you're not stacking all your chips into the Rune Bomb, do it into that, man. Even though it's still dodgeable, like, the RNG of it, it's an aimable skill shot, but, I mean, I still think there's so much that you can just get an effect from.
Well, there's a lot of area being covered by those orbs, and it's really, even if you're not hit and stunned, you have to dodge them. So it gets value regardless. So
and it looks like they're gonna go for 16 here before they go up. I like this a lot.
16. 16 is going to be just a little bit, but counter push by Saltscale top. Since this is objective lane, they could potentially go ahead and push for keep as they clear this, or once they obtain this. However, Party Time going to go ahead and go for a keep wall of their own.
Yeah, man. Hey, you know, Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to something with. I'll tell you what. And Party Time ain't nothing either. They almost have 16s, and everybody had to back. They're already through the wall. They've already got damage on this keep. And at this point, it's whether or not you commit. They're going to get the big double stun. They're going to get the big pull from Cho'Gall onto Bishop Mist with no counter-strike. That's a dead Bishop. Alarak goes down again. Leo goes down again. Chesclu has the negative healing. Going to go in for another Condemn, looking to peel out the rest of their team. Resurrect will not be used as EKB and Poke look like they're going to make it out of here. But yet again, another 3-for-0 trade. They didn't even get the keep, but they still secured a lot of value. But in doing that, in those deaths, because of the comeback mechanics of heroes, now what was level 15 to 16 is now 16 to 16.
Yeah, not only do they secure 16, they secure another turret. They are going to get point, almost assuredly going to get point. They either take this mid, clear a couple of forts, or they push straight for a keep. Question is pushing for keep with a Cho'Gall the best option?
I mean, you can do whatever you want. They're already securing bottom. You can... as Leo gonna get the 2 Mondo Imperius. They do have the robot, but Dengstrom just trying to be kept alive here by Alankia as to get in the protector. Okay, so Cho'Gall secured bottom fort. I would like to see them just run it down top here, because if you get top keep safely, like, I mean, this thing's just getting shredded by Hanzo, though. And Leo has gone full hand build, so Leo just eats this thing. I don't think they're going to get much with it at all, but Cho'Gall and Raynor, man, they're just running it down. Good old quick match strats.
So, well, no, this is actually the correct call, because this sets up for next objective. They get this keep, or at the very least this keep wall. This sets them up to actually end the game. Arrow coming out after the shield, ult out by Cho'Gall, not going to be able to hit anybody. Deadly charge going out onto Cho'Gall, gets pulled, silenced, but he's going to go ahead and get pushed away, and ultimately... I don't know where the protector went down or what, if any, value they got from it, but ultimately they end up coming ahead. with their objective.
Yeah, I believe if you want to know what value they got with it, go look at Leo's damage on the scoreboard, and that's about it. But I mean, they did get value though. They got bottom fort, they got keep wall, they got the fountain and bot keep. So I mean, that's still an extra bit of distance that you have to run to get a tap if you're party time. And Imperius is really in deep here, already losing about half the HP. They're going to get the big pull. No Twilight as it was already used. No Nova, but they do get the Nano Boost going out. Bishop falling really low. I see the Sleep Dart coming out onto EKB. They are going to finally pop the Twilight Nova, getting it onto both of these frontliners here. But Dangstrom still falling lower than anyone else.
And Tomb does not get out on anyone. And I'm thinking that the Eason Raynor, and we talked about this early in game 1, Raynor's buffs recently, I think, are allowing him to scale. Even though it's straight scaling, like just his pure damage output, in addition to Gall plus a sustained healing of Anna, I don't know. I don't know if going later and later into this game, the party time is going to be able to actually just deal with the sheer amount of damage.
Oh, back up again. Only going to hit Leo. Leo just going to eon out of there. Hanzo does get hit by the Sleep Dart, but the humongous pull onto Cho'Gall. Twilight popped onto the 4-man. Johanna is still in here, falling low as the Deadly Charge comes through, and Raynor does clean up. They trade 1 for 1 with the Resurrect available. It is going to be onto Johanna, but Bishop missed in deep. Going to get the pull onto 2, but no kill.
Another
and it's
reset on Sadism.
That's so unfortunate. But we did get TK range at 7, so I do expect you'll be able to stack that back a little bit easier. You're still not going to be where you could have been, though. Like that's rough losing Sadism late game, man.
We do see Lethal Onslaught this time, so he does have the potential to do quite a bit of damage. That plus Blade of the High Lord. So, you know, yeah, stacking up shouldn't be incredibly difficult, especially with the Cho'Gall in there. Just question is, does Cho'Gall just eat your life before that matters?
Yeah, man, we see these huge stuns coming out from the triple splash on Dread Orb, which we and you did talk about. Cho'Gall, however, did go into Molten Block, no Twilight Veil. So no easily proccable armor, and basic attacks do reduce the cooldown of Cho'Gall abilities. Now you do have that Rune Gauntlet from Gall or Cho, excuse me. So not really going into that auto attack focus build that me and you have played, but this is still a decent build. You do have a lot more uptime on the damage from Cho or from Gall. You have a lot more cooldown reductions, but it looks like both teams are going to hit 20 for this last objective. And we do have to discuss the Cho level 20. He did not take the reduced death timer. They do have the rooting pull, which is basically just the pull with Rexar's level 20 boars, and then they have the blink nether from Gall.
Cho'Gall getting pulled in and entombed. We go ahead and queue out Pop Stasis. Pop's ult, arrow comes out, stuns 2 people. Not a whole lot of damage going out though. Stun going in onto Joe.
Red Orb are insane. That stun onto Ariel was almost the end of her, as Imperius barely missing that spear.
And
Alarak gets popped. Yeah, it looked like he got deadly charged in there, but he didn't. It was just the Cho'Gall pull with the root, and then that was Delito Alarak, cuz. Leo, however, with the anti-heal is not going to be able to stay too high in HP as this keep goes down, and with Alarak dead for another 45 seconds, it actually doesn't look like Saltscale is going to push this. Unless they're just going to camp the body here. Wait, camp the body. Do it. Do it. And if we go look at the rest of the level 20s, we do have the healing nano, which for Cho'Gall seems pretty busted. And then if we go look at all the rest, I mean, Johanna has Blinded by the Light, and we do have Counter Strike. We have Bullseye out from Hanzo, so looking for that extra stun. And Buried Alive from Leo and Super Resurrect. So we do have someone who's going to be super fast when they come back to life. As yet again, the big Twilight and Twisted combo. They are going to insta-delete Ariel. Bless does go out to try to peel. Ariel can't res, though. She's in a downtown alley right now with the street lights off, and it's pretty shady.
Yeah, the Cho'Gall forcing the engagements is huge for them, because it's just grabbing people that don't want to be in Cho'Gall's face. So he doesn't even have to dive deep. And you got 2 heroes that can unstop, and then you have something like an Ariel who gets pulled all by their lonesome and deleted.
Yeah, so that's the thing, man. You trade off the ability to peel and the increased damage just flat out from Cho with the hammer to the ability to kind of create picks like this with the pull. And when it gets to 20, this thing is huge. As they are going for the second keep here, Raynor just gonna plow through that bad boy, and Cho'Gall is gonna be fleeing back to the safety of the Triplob, and they're at 93%, so it's gonna be taken. And Raven, if you're still trying to lock in, I have been, so let me know if it's still not working for you.
Yeah, it went away, but that's fine.
No worries. We do have Hanzo sitting in the bush here, and they do have the flank set up. However, Ariel is... Yeah, Ariel's back, but there's no keep here, man. This is a naked keep. Imperius is going to wear the arrow from Hanzo. Going to get comboed in and then somehow yoinked out. Cho'Gall does going to go in and get the Blinding Nether out with the Ice Block, not taking any damage. Leo's going to be really low. They're going to get the punish done from Johanna, but I don't think it's going to be enough. As Alarak gets the huge counter strike, mark my words, wrong. Ana goes down. They already used Nano Boost, so Raynor falling as well. Cho'Gall and Dextrum. Ariel resurrecting with the super speed. Alarak does fall again. Cho'Gall gets into the Protector at 1 HP. Legitimately 1 HP Cho'Gall in this bad boy. And now it's Cho'Gall and Imperius versus Alarak Hanzo on this core. And when Cho'Gall comes out, he has almost no HP.
Yeah, well, I don't think it's going to matter. This core is gone.
Hey, man, have hope. Leo Ghost will do magic. And the core is falling 30%, 15%, 10%, down to 0. That is going to be GG, game number 2.
We saw game number 2. Same thing we saw game number 1. Party Time just having a massively commanding lead. And then you just see Saltscale just start absolutely destroying in teamfights. Look at the gall damage.
80k, man. I seen it. That's what happens when you got that nano boost, baby.
Now, the Twisting Nether, and that, again, you talked about no peels until 10. Well, they didn't need it. They just, they upheavaled. They brought the team to them, and then they blew them into non-existence.
Don't need to peel if you're the one being peeled. Haha.
Hanzo, he did quite a bit of work looking at stats. 7 kills, no deaths, top damage. You know, he tried. I feel like I'm not giving Bishop a hard time whatsoever, but I feel like the Alarak, every death is just an unfortunate, like it sets them back so much that it's the potential that they have going into the late game falls off quite a bit.
Yeah, like and that's what happens when you early lock into that Alarak. That's one of your damage dealer slots immediately gone. So I mean, the CC was great and it looked pretty effective in the Cho'Gall from the most beginning part of the game. But then after that first death, Cho'Gall stopped seeming so in trouble all the time, and I just don't know if it's enough. I feel like they've at least Saltscale has an answer to the Alarak. They have a way to play around it, and they have enough focus and coordination to be able to drop Alarak when they know the sadism needs to be reset, and they're just getting it done.
I would, like I said, I'd absolutely love to see Game 3, if he runs the Alarak again, actually just going for the safer option, just being able to stack with Chaos Reigns at 4, and just being able to retain, even if you lose sadism, you still retain the damage from your stacks, and if you happen to get your 3 stack, then you know that game is pretty much set that
over.
that went on.
Dude, that talent is dumb when you get it stacked. Like if you hit that 3 banger, dude, it's over. I don't know if I've ever lost with the 3 hit. Like, it's just ridiculous because you take 60% of Tank's health and you 100 to 0 squishies. Like, it's nuts.
Well, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to move us over, take a look at our standing of tonight so far. This is what they call it, the Ray Train? Raven XB Train cast?
Ray Train? I don't know, man. I just work here.
We are casting Div B East finals, coastal finals, best of 5. Currently, Saltscale Mrgles, after if you're just joining us, first 2 games, start out the games looking like they're in a bit of trouble, and then there's a point where it just clicks, and then suddenly they're dominating. So they are up 2-0 over Party Time, and Party Time's got to look to make something happen if they want to continue into the grand finals of Div B.
All right, I'm gonna start a new segment on your broadcast. It's called B Trades Tips to the Draft. Ladies and gentlemen, here we discuss the typical things that I'd like to see from each team in this draft. Now, everybody, hands and feet inside the vehicle while we go through this safety checklist. Are you ready? Sounds good. No, but all right, it's Tomb, right? Tomb of the Spider Queen was like the EU map in HGC. It was the map that revolves around controlling rotations, controlling a turn-in spot. Two of them, your off lane is easily gankable and everything's invadable. So, okay, so far, Party Time has had damage for team fights, but their macro has been the concern. Not their macro in the sense of what they're doing when they're doing it. It's their macro as in the heroes they've picked. Muradin doesn't elect to a lot of wave clear. Alarak doesn't elect to a lot of wave clear and like defense of an objective, like a PvE. Greymane is decent, but he's got no AoE really. Hanzo, kind of a similar thing. He's got decent wave clear, but like they never just were, arms and heads and legs above in the wave clear department. So I think you have to go for that. I think this draft, you have to just look at it and say, all right, it's Tomb. We have to have wave clear. You have to have some way of defending an objective should you lose it, rather than just thinking you'll never lose an objective. I mean, it's a good way to play and be confident, but at the same time, you have to have your fallback. And I just need them to have wave clear this game, and I believe in that. If they get the wave clear, dude, they've been killing the early game, and I think having wave clear for the late game will help them tremendously.
Yeah, if they take a step back from just looking to run it down and kill the other team, and actually focus more on the map itself, I think they'll have a much better time. So the first two maps, and again, these have all been chosen by Saltscale. So game number 1, we go to Infernal Shrines, team fight map, but it's very much objective oriented. Push with the objective. Game number 2, Volskaya, team fight oriented, but if you win the objective, push with said objective. Same thing here. It sounds like that's the case in most maps, but there a few different maps that doesn't work. Tomb, very much a pushing objective, must win, but the how you win it is a little bit different. So like you said, team fight doesn't matter so much, but with Saltscale, they've been able to win the late game team fight. So Party Time wants to look to pick up and actually get running much faster in this game number 3 on Tomb. Whereas Saltscale, they've been coming online a little bit later in the game. That actually might hurt them if they continue to run that same style.
But at the same time, if you draft just tremendous clear and anti-siege, this Tomb is like one of the few maps where I can consistently lose all 3 keeps and still not feel like the game is over. I can lose all 3 keeps on this map and I'm like, we still got a chance. Like, it's just one of those weird maps. Like Towers of Doom, you can be up 40 shots to 1 and you still aren't the favorite. Like, you're slightly favored, but you're still like, it's not over. Towers and Tomb are just 2 of those maps where it gets weird, man. But if Alarak doesn't get banned, Party Time has first pick again. I don't want to see you pick Alarak. At this point, it's not like the play hasn't wowed me either, but it's just out of this map, dude, it cannot happen. Like, I just don't think it's gonna work. So I just don't first pick it, please. Just make a deal. Tell them to not ban Gul'dan. Pick the Gul'dan. Win the game. GG in the chats, and then we'll go to game 4 and we'll run it back. We'll do it again.
Well, so the Gul'dans keeps getting banned out by Saltscale. So
what you do is you write them a nicely drafted letter and say, yes, sir, hello, ma'am, I will give you very sensual massage for no Gul'dan ban. Easy clap. And then you get your Gul'dan and then you have a fun game. Yikes. And you take random destruction and you kill everybody. But like, okay, but in all seriousness, dude, I'd rather see Azmodan than Alarak here, and I hate Azmodan. So just come on, man. Pick wave clear. Just wave clear, wave clear, wave clear. That's all I gotta say. If I see a Diablo or a Muradin, I'm just gonna angry cry under my desk and think about what could have been.
Diablo's got wave clear. He presses R and then a giant
at level 20, he takes the 55-second lightning breath and he clears approximately 3 minions with it. The melee minions live because they have more health, but he kills the ranged ones. Good for him. No, but like, okay, so each team has played a Joe game. but consistently, Saltscale has had better wave clear. So you either A, look to choke their wave clear potential, or you just pick wave clear. And I think that's pretty much how it goes. And I mean, if y'all need a sub, what's up? Like, we slot up in here, hit this Gul'dan dab. Like, I could do this. I think we have one person AFK right now waiting to load in, but okay. Right now, here's how I want to see your draft go. Ragnaros, Asmodan, Johanna, Rhaegar, Jaina. Boom. There's your wave clear. Easy clap.
I want to see 4 mages in this game. That's what I want.
Same. I want to see 6 mages. I want to see main tank Kel'Thuzad. Like, let's do this thing. Armor the Archlich OP.
Well, it looks like game number 3.
That was a really quick 3, 2, 1. Dear God. It was just like, ready? 3, 2, 1. Boom.
Alright, so like you said, wave clear is king. I don't know. When you have a hero that you like to play and the hero doesn't clear waves, all you can see is enemy team. So we'll see. Maybe Keep will ban Alarak for them, so he has no choice but to play a hero with wave clear.
I mean, like you said, if there's a
oh my god! What? Wait. Whoa.
I'm done, bro.
Alright, this draft is just going to be to game music, and I'm a mute.
I don't even care. Okay, even if... Oh my god, and they banned their own Anna. Are they just agreeing to ban their own heroes? Alright, I don't... Okay, so they banned later.
Alright, that's a good decision.
Yeah, okay, so what gets banned now? Okay, so now that they've... Okay, so what probably happened is they probably said, we're going to ban your Anna, and they probably said, we're going to ban your Alarak. And then they just agreed to ban each other's heroes. But Sylvanas is up in this draft for the first time since Richard Nixon was president.
Or Deathwing.
Or Gul'dan.
Well, yeah, I mean...
Oh, nope. Just Deathwing and Sylvanas.
Bye, Gul'dan.
I think you pick Syl here. I don't touch Deathwing. You can leave that hero in a box. That hero sucks. And they don't pick either. Oh, my goodness.
Wow. Well,
oh my! Well, speaking of no wave clear tanks, there you go. There's one. I mean, you can take Echo Petal, but that ain't under. Dude, I'm lost right now. What's happening? If they don't pick, okay, but if they don't pick Sylvanas, then what? Like, why are you banning it?
No,
What's happening?
I'm looking at chat, and I just see everyone's response to the Alarak ban.
Okay, well, there's Sylvanas, so like, okay, Synchrony just pulled their pants down because they got Syl now. It's like, dude, they're just... you banned it for 2 games. Why not this? Why did you ban your own hero and not Sylvanas? And
So what's gonna happen? And we know this is how Storm League works. Saltscale's starting to draft real heroes that should work in meta. So this is gonna be a 2-1 going into game number 4. This is exactly how this works.
There's a Pyroblast on the table. If you pick Phoenix, I'm going to be pissed.
Phoenix is banned, so... Oh, Phoenix. Oh, never mind.
No, that Phoenix. The Fiery Phoenix,
Yeah,
not the Blinky Phoenix. Alright, so... do you ban the Cho'Gall since Saltscale's banning? Do you just ban your Cho? Nope, you ban... Ooh.
A new hero.
That's a new hero. I didn't expect to see that. Deathwing's still on the board. BT dubs.
Alright.
Alright,
So...
memes aside, how do we feel?
I want to see a Murky on the side of the blue team, because if they make meta decisions the entire draft, I will be sad. There's the Cho'Gall ban.
There's the Cho'Gall. I mean, you could still run it with Johanna. It doesn't matter. I mean, I don't know. Like, okay, they're gonna pick Deathwing because they just banned Zul'jin for anti-armor, the armor shredding, right? Surely.
Essentially.
Surely? Wait, no, they've been banning Deathwing the whole series, though.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there's a white main and a gray main, so they're holding their off lane. But,
seeing real heroes again.
White main is going to have a hard time getting... I mean, okay, ETC has Slide Face Melt. That can cancel white main's channel, which is a big part of her kit. It's not all of it, but it's big. Stukov has a Silence. That can cancel it. Lift from Kael'thas can cancel it. So right now, in the 4-man, they have 4 interrupts for potential white main's main... One of her main sources of healing. is we're gonna get Zera from EK, and then we're gonna get Leo. So Zera and the 4-man on Tomb. We do have Kael'thas. I mean, their
So-
wave clear is a little bit better, but it's still not where I want it.
Regarding White Mane, it kind of depends on how she's built. If you run
Sure.
W build, then yeah, if you get it canceled, you are big sad. But if you're pretty much just using W for in order to reset your what is it called, the her Malfurion Q, can't think of what it's called, Zeal. If you use it to reset Zeal only and kind of heal in between fights, then your primarily focus is just basically healing a primary target, which in the Greymane is actually a really good option for them. Just keep the Greymane up, let Sylvanas do damage, and then you have 2 really beefy tanks to control the battlefield.
Okay, so I like the Blaze. I like the Blaze a lot. He doesn't win the lane versus Leo, but I think he's a better hero. They do have the oven. They have Kael'thas and Leo, so they can just pop Tomb. They have potential for VP combo. But Johanna Sil, Greymane, Blaze, Wave Clear versus Zera, Stu, Kael'thas, etc. Like, their
Yeah.
Wave Clear is still on the lesser side, so they have a better comp that if they fall behind in the team fight aspect, it's not like they lose sadism, right? They consistently do damage. Kael'thas is a decent enough mage. We're gonna go and introduce the left side, and we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna shut up and stop judging. We do have Isan on the Greymane this game. Idiom's on Blase. Synchrony on the Sylvanas for the first time in the series. Dengstrom on Johanna, and Alankia on Whitemane this game.
And for party time, we have Bishop Mist on Leoric, Pokeflute on the Stukov, Schumann on KT, Ikib on Zeratul, and Chessclue on ETC. Now, I see Bishop Mist is now offlaning.
Yeah, I saw that. I didn't know if they were going to switch or not, but Zeratul goes into Move Unseen at 1. We'll see how that goes.
You were talking about the wave clear. I mean, KT has all of the wave clear. Like, you don't need anything else, really. But,
then you have no way to threaten damage.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. The threat is almost entirely up to Zera, and I think all around this draft is very much in Saltscale's favor.
Sylvanas did go Overwhelming Affliction. I don't know which one that is, so you're gonna have to tell me.
That is the percent damage on heroes that are slowed, and I have questions.
Monka. Okay, well, we do get the Hold Your Ground, and everything else seems pretty meta. Whitemane going into Pity the Frail, which I like that talent a lot. We do have Reactive Ballista Spores for for Stukov, which is pretty fantastic into Blaze Greymane. I actually really like that pickup. Prog Rock to supplement healing. And then Leo going Fealty. Fealty's an okay talent. Like, it's not going to move the needle one way or the other. It's steady enough for your solo lane. As we get the first camp coming out here from Saltscale.
Yeah, really good temp timing. It's not going to be able to do... Well, I mean, so the clear...
Greymane, baby.
Yeah, if they can actually step up and do things with it, but the problem I see is that there's a lot of anti-siege capability on Party Time's side, so I don't know what value they get from it.
I'm eager to see what this Zeratul build does, man. I'm not a fan so far, but I want to have my mind changed. Zeratul is one of those heroes that mechanics matter, and I think that he's got it. If he's EKB as the Vorpal, could have gone on Sylvanas though. Bishop gonna have to use the E out. Blaze Stun, huge. Gonna go on to Bishop Miss, who is gonna fall on that gate. Leoric getting the trait value early, and now with the Sylvanas trade in the 5-man push middle, Saltscale taking some value here in the mid lane, and they're putting their foot down early.
Yeah, they ended up corrected me. They get a lot of value really early wall. Just ultimately the offlaners both coming up, Blaze being ever so slightly behind, still ultimately get a ton of value. Greymane goes down. Idiom's really low at his wall, body block not going anywhere, and he goes down.
Body block city, baby. Somebody just gave him the horns.
So
and Sylvanas moving top lane to get that soak and continue doing Sylvanas things.
So they get a wall, they trade 2 kills, they lose quite a few. I don't know if they lost stones, they're not picking up anywhere near as many. We do have well, almost a full turn in from party time, but a little bit early to get Webweaver for anyone.
I advocate for holding turns until like level 8 to 10. That's just me. We do see Zeratul going into Psionic Strength, which indicates a W build, going that Singularity Seeker style. I don't understand the move Unseen. I mean, I think it's a decent enough talent, but I think you could just get more value out of just even cleave size with that build, or going into just the Globe CDR talent. You're going to stack Globes easy. It gives you blink cooldown reduction. As Bishop is going to get the turn in, not enough of an interrupt from Blaze. And Blaze is going to go with Meltdown at 4 instead of that Oil Dispersal. So a couple interesting picks for the talents here. It does reduce damage dealt by 7%, up to 35% for 2.5 seconds. So it is a possible 35% damage reduction, but I mean, I just don't know if it's worth the trade-off of Oil Dispersal. I just think it's such a fantastic talent. But Webweavers are down 7.25 to about 7. It's pretty much even 7.25. But they're looking to focus bot lane with the 4-man.
Yeah, with their siege isn't anywhere near as strong as Saltscale.